Hi guys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Kook Shed. Today we're going to do a review on the new Versus project, Dave Winchester WiFly 2.0 bodyboard. Now, Dave Winchester has previously released the WiFly, and this is a newer version of it. The first one had a quad concave channel on the bottom, and this one's got a Trinity Concave. It's also got a bit of a different tail there, and so we're just going to go through the differences and the features of this board, and hopefully give you a better idea of what you're dealing with if you want to grab one. You know, they're the top of the range board. They're quite expensive, so hopefully this review helps you decide, or give you a better idea before you lay down your hard-earned money. So here we go. Now the first thing you might notice, first thing you will notice, is the funky tail that they've made here. Now Nick Mesritz worked on this board with Dave, or Winnie, and they've come up with some really clever design concepts, I think. So one thing they found in making the Trinity Concave in this board, which is a single concave that starts around near the elbow, where the elbow goes, and then forms into a double concave here. One thing they found was cutting the concave out of the board reduced its volume and ability to float. So they've extended the tips of the tail to add a little bit of extra flotation, as well as to work in with the new bottom contour. So they found that the original quad concave WiFly, while being very fast and holding the rail really well and transitioning rail to rail, while it was doing that, it wasn't releasing the tail as good as it possibly could. So they've tried to correct that in this version, and the tail tips seem to help the board release in the spins a little more. One clever thing I like that they've done with this one, or with all the boards that they've been making, is with these parallel flex system technology beams. They've really worked. They've thought about it and really worked them in with the contours of the slick. So they've also thought about where your body is positioned on the board, and placed these beams, which are just vertical pieces of plastic in the core. They've placed them under where the hand would flex up on the board, where the elbow would be sitting, roughly around here, and that's to sort of to assist in the flexing properties of the board. So when the board is flexed, these beams will take that pressure and snap the core back a little quicker, allowing for better performance. So, and I just think it's really clever how they've run it down all the way to the tips, and that also actually helps with the double concave here. The double concave, you'll see, if you can see it in the light, I'm not sure. The double concave runs from the inner side of these beams. So you've got two concaves here blending into one larger one here. Starts about there, and that aids in getting water flow, making it easier to paddle as well, but getting water flow to come down the board and then compressing it into a double concave. So it's actually, by doing that, it's making the water flow faster Now in the original one, the quad concave was compressing the water quite well, but this one does a better job of getting that pressure and releasing it at the tail so that you can initiate spins a little easier. So yeah, that's quite handy. You've also got in the core, you've got a stringer down the middle, carbon fibre stringer. The core itself is polypro, 1.9 density polypro, and it's also got a layer of mesh as well. Now mesh is really nice for not only added stiffness and performance, but it also takes the flex of the board and distributes it evenly. It allows the board to flex evenly across the width of the board and the length of the board a little more. So if a board's just got a stringer, the core might twist around a little bit, especially doing drop knee. Whereas just adding an extra layer of mesh not only adds stiffness and longevity to the board, but it actually enables the board to flex more evenly. So it's helping those plastic beams that are going through the board there take the load and recoil better for a higher performing board. So you've also got some nose bulbs, hand bulbs here. They just enable you to keep a better grip on your board through more technical manoeuvres. It's a common addition to most modern boards these days, and yeah, I find them quite helpful. They're sort of working in with. There's two recesses here where they've cut into the deck, so that your hand is sort of at a lower gravitational point as well. So look, I'm normally, I'm not a huge fan of the deck grooves and those sort of things, but most of the new Winnies have some sort of deck contours happening, and I find that they actually help. At the very least, you don't notice them, and they're not in the way. They're not. Sometimes you can get deck contours that are really aggressive, and they might not suit how you position yourself on the board exactly, and that might bug some people. But I've found these to be, not a problem at all, and I just normally like the flat deck. They also got a little recess here, where from here to here, sort of little groove cut into the deck, and that allows your thumb a tighter grip around the board. So yeah, they've been quite helpful. But yeah, keep in mind that any cuts or shapes that have been taken out of the board, whether on the deck or the bottom, they're decreasing the volume of the board, so they're decreasing the ability for the board to float you. So that tail tip, the extended tail tip, actually helps counteract that as well. So size wise, if you normally ride a 42-inch board, you would go the 42.5-inch board, because they've made all the boards half an inch longer to counteract these grooves and cuts in the board. So because they've reduced the amount of foam here, they've made the board half an inch longer at the tail tips. So as a rough guide, go half an inch longer than your normal board that you would ride. Now, some people might be concerned about its ability to drop knee. Dave Winchester, he's known for not only being a great prone rider, but also getting up drop knee and doing really well at that too. So it's natural to ask whether this board, with with this tail design is any good for drop knee. Now at first I was a little bit sceptical. I wasn't sure how that would handle drop knee, but I've tested it out on many occasions, and it does quite well. You know, some die-hard drop knees might not like it. They might be used to a full crescent tail or just a clipped crescent tail, but I haven't found it to be a problem at all. It drop knees quite well. So it surprised me because it's just such an odd tail shape. Some people might find it a bit funny feeling under their ankle or their shin, somewhere around here, wherever they put their shin or ankle. But if you can get used to that, it holds its own quite well. I wouldn't say that it's specifically a drop knee board. I would say it's more a prone board that can drop knee well. It's a versatile board, but I wouldn't go so far as to say it's, you know, if you just drop kneed, you know, I'd say look for something a little different template. Winnie has got other more drop knee focus boards, so maybe look at one of them. But it's quite a versatile board. I drop knee quite a bit, so I haven't found it an issue. You would think it's more just a prone board, or you'd think his template would be just sort of more leaning towards prone because it's got a wider nose than some versatile boards, and its wide point's a little further up. But no, all of his Winnie boards, unless they're aimed specifically at drop knee or specifically at prone, whatever, they go quite well both ways. So you don't be afraid of whether it's going to work drop knee or prone or not. Rail configuration, you've got 55% rail, 45% chine. So chine is apart from the deck to the top of the rail, which is a really versatile combination, good for most wave types, and can hold their own when it gets a little sizier, but can also grovel quite well. As far as wave size for this one, I wouldn't say it's a specific groveler at all. It's aimed at higher performance waves, hollower waves. Definitely it seems to handle hollower waves better, especially with this bottom configuration. I would say it's suited best to hollow waves from 2 to 3 foot and upwards. It would grovel if you needed it. If you had this board and the waves are tiny and you need to go out on something, yeah, sure, it'll handle it, but I don't think it's specifically targeted at doing that at all. It's a high performance machine aimed at high performance bodyboarding in high performance waves. So it just doesn't seem to perform as well in fat, mushy surf. It's very fast. I've found that it's very fast. The flex is amazing from this core. I really like the flex of these cores. With the Polypro and the PFS bars running through it, and the stringer and the mesh, it'll hold up in warmer water. It's got good flex. It's not too stiff though. I found it's got nice give in it. I'm not sure whether that's the PFS system or what, but it does quite well in cold water too. So it's one of my favourite cores I've ridden out of any modern bodyboard is the PFS system. So yeah, it's quite a nice board to ride. So hopefully that's helped you a little bit in deciding whether this board is for you. Sorry it's a bit dirty, it's got wax and zinc and stuff on it from when I've been riding it and stuff, but if it's been helpful, let me know. If you've ridden one, if you like your Versus Winchester WiFly 2, let me know in the comments. If you've got any questions, if I've forgotten something and you want to ask something, I do forget things, so yeah, just hit me up in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. If you liked the review, if it was helpful, hit like so I know what's going on, and if you want to see more bodyboard reviews, surf reviews, bodyboard tips, surf tips, and whatever I come up with that I think might help you guys and girls out there, just hit subscribe, and I'll do my best to keep them coming. So that's it for today. Thanks for dropping in. Catch you next time.